can't be the only parent that feels like I am coexisting and co-parenting with YouTube, Roblox, Minecraft, and all of the other kind of techie things at the moment with kids. My son is 5 and he is obsessed with Minecraft and Roblox. And I have, as a parent, struggled with this. So our little boy has had an iPad since he was about 2.5. I say iPad, it's one of the Amazon kind of versions, so one of the Amazon Kids iPads. It was against my better judgment at the time. I didn't actually want to give it him, but my husband bought it for a Christmas present, I think. And we actually got on really well with it. He loved it. It was doing really well for him. And it was just purely educational apps that he had on it. He didn't have YouTube. He didn't have any of the kind of things, but he did have like kids' videos on there. Yeah, I want to talk today about whether or not tech is raising our kids and should we feel guilty as parents for letting it. Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Parenthood. Like I say, today we're going to be chatting about all things tech. So yeah, let's get into it. As we know, AI is absolutely everywhere. You can't escape it, can't get away from it. So how do we as parents kind of balance it and manage it so that we're giving our children the best? Even in schools now, even primary school, like I said, my little boy is in reception and they use computers. We are given homework for them. We're given paper homework, but we're also given some apps for them to go on to. So they have things like Class Dojo. They have Numbots, I think one is called, where they go on and they can do maths kind of maths games and English games. So even from the age of 5, children are cursed to use technology and use apps. And I don't know how to move away from that if we're trying to give our children freedom from technology when they're being told to use it in schools as well. And it seems like even if we prevent them at home from using it, then that's actually doing them disservice because they're using them in schools so frequently. And I think for parents, screen time panic can be a bit of a real thing because it suddenly goes from, oh, okay, they're using educational apps. That's all they're using. But then they start hearing from it about it at school because one of their friends has been on Minecraft, or they've got an older brother or sister and that older brother or sister is using a mobile phone and they're on TikTok or they're on YouTube. We progressed in our household because my little boy was watching Paw Patrol and he wanted to start watching it on my phone in the car when we were out. So I would give him my phone. And sometimes because I hadn't got like a Paw Patrol app or I hadn't got kids YouTube, I would type in Paw Patrol on YouTube so that it would bring up Paw Patrol videos or kids videos on YouTube. But then because I'd given him my phone, he would start scrolling through as they do. So I obviously clocked onto this and I started saying, oh, you can't do that. But then I thought, actually, I could just set him up with a kids YouTube account. So that was what I did. And it progressed from there. Then he started seeing things on kids YouTube that he wanted to watch on proper YouTube. And I stupidly let him do it. And I'd say to him, okay, but only for 10 minutes or 20 minutes just after school because you've done well at school and things like that. And then he started hearing friends at school talking about Minecraft. And then he started talking about Roblox. And I don't know enough about them. So I went on to the programs and I started doing a bit of research into them. And I said to him, look, you can't go on Roblox. It's not suitable for you. I'd heard a lot of things about Roblox, wasn't really a big fan of it. But I said, we can maybe look at Minecraft. So I had a look at Minecraft for him, and someone had actually said that it's better to buy the game Minecraft, like the hard version game, rather than downloading it online. We were going to do that for him, but I thought I'd rather him just trial it and see. I don't really want to spend like 20, 30 quid on a game if he's not that into it. So I downloaded the online version. I put all the parental blocks on it. He can't chat anyway because he's 5. He can't read and he can't write very well either. The chat function wasn't really a big deal for me at this point. But I turned the chat off. He can't talk to people on headsets and stuff like that. So he is just playing the game. And he loves it. And he's amazing at it as well, more to the point. Like, some of the stuff that he's built on Minecraft for a 5-year-old is just insane. I can't do it, and I'm 37 years old. So I'm really impressed. And I think it's educational sort of thing because it's encouraging him to build things. But he still kept going on about fucking Roblox. And one day he was off sick. He'd got scarlet fever. I was feeling a bit sorry for him because he wanted to go and do stuff and he was getting a bit fed up with the TV and programs and stuff. And he mentioned Roblox to me and I said, look, you can play it, but you've got to sit next to mummy so I can have a look and see what it is you're playing. And it started off originally, it was fine. The games that he was on was absolutely fine. I'd set it all up. So I'd got a parental account. I'd set it up so it was on minimal content settings, no chat function again, obviously. And the games that he was playing were fine. Most of them are these kind of, I think they're called like obbies. So he was playing like the obby games. He loves the one where granddad chases you and grandma chases you. And he really likes those ones. Those are like his favourite one. He's always been into like hide and seek. So I think that's where it's come from. But we started playing that and he was sat next to me. And then I had to leave the room so I could go and do his dinner. I came back and he'd come out of that game and he was scrolling through some of the other games and I happened to look at them and I was like, whoa, that's like really fucking inappropriate. What the hell is that? And I looked at it and he can't actually get into the game, but the actual graphics on Roblox were really quite like scary and frightening. Like one of them, I think, was like a creepy looking Peppa Pig with a knife that was chasing someone. Then right next to that was like a dark room and there was like someone, like some sort of like thing with like red eyes and I just thought, whoa, that's not appropriate. And even though he couldn't actually access the game, the thumbnail on that game was scary enough. And I thought, that's it, Roblox is coming off. I thought that there may have been a way that I could prevent him from seeing that because it was on minimal settings and I don't think he should have been able to see that content. So if you are a creator for Roblox, can you please get rid of that because it's really fucking bad. But I took Roblox away from him, which was a bit like taking candy from a baby because obviously now he's hooked on Roblox. He loves Roblox. And a lot of the games, like I say, they were actually quite fun. So I'd taken Roblox away from him and then gave in about a week later because he kept going on at me about it and he wanted me to play with him. And I said to him, as long as you sat with me and we're playing a game together or I can see what it is that you're watching and or playing on there, it's fine. And he has been really good and he will come up to me and say, look, mummy, this one's scary. I won't play it. Or I'm right next to him and I'll just say, look, don't play that one. Don't look at that one. I don't like that he can still see these thumbnails, but there doesn't seem to be anything I can do about that. So I have let him play Roblox as long as he's playing with me or his dad and he's got his sister on there now and they play together and it's really nice. But it is something that I have struggled with as a parent between not allowing him to go on it and allowing him to go on it. And there are times where I feel like a really bad parent for letting him play on it. Yeah, it's an awkward thing, technology. And I love technology and I don't think that we should be taking technology away. I think that it's not going away in society. So I think it's only a beneficial thing for children to actually learn how to use it and use it properly. And one of my things as a parent has been that I would rather my child be in the technology sphere as it is and be aware of all of the bad things than be completely shielded to technology, that then when something does happen, they're more likely to go. What I mean by that is you've got my child, for example, who has had technology from a young age, he comes up to me now and he'll say, look, mummy, this is scary. This is weird. This doesn't look good. And he knows what he's not allowed to go on to. He knows that I'm not going to shout at him and I'm not going to judge him, but he can come and talk to me about it. And I would rather have that with him than him getting to an age where he does go on technology, say 10, and he's given his first mobile phone. And it's the first time he's allowed to go on Roblox, and he's got the chat function because his mum and dad haven't really been that involved in technology either. So they don't know about the parental blocks and things like that they can go on to. So he's given this phone and he's given TikTok, he's given social media, he's given Roblox with no protection on it. And he sees all these things and suddenly some random person starts talking to him, and because he's never been told about bad people online, and I would rather that not happen because he's been brought up with it from an early age and he's aware of the dangers of social media and technology, if that kind of makes sense. I don't want him to be naive to it. And I think because he's had it from an early age, that probably won't happen because I talk to him about it. And that's my way of allowing him to go on technology. I think social media is a different functionality altogether. Now, my idea of social media is TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X. I will not be allowing him to have a social media account, Instagram as well, because I do think it is a very toxic place. I am chronically online. I'm chronically on TikTok. I love TikTok, but I will not be allowing my son to have social media until he's well into his late teens, or for certainly as long as I can physically prevent it anyway. That is my goal. That is my aim, because I think that social media has a lot to answer for in terms of the poisonous rhetoric that I see a lot of. And it's not something that I want my son to be a part of. I think it doesn't matter really what side of the fence you sit on, whether you're more on the left or the right in terms of political opinions and where you sit. I'm probably more right-leaning than I am left-leaning. And I think social media is toxic, especially to children. So as long as I can shield him from that, I will shield him for as long as I can. So what I want to know is how you guys parent with social media or tech in general. Do you let your children have free reign with it? Are you a bit like me and you're a bit conflicted and you have the best intentions, but then they do end up having it? I think one of the other issues that I have as well is because Jacob has autism, I can't take his pad away because he's got these apps from school on. So what I try to do now is that he's got a block on his pad. So he has to do a minimum of half an hour of like educational apps before it will unlock and allow him to go on to the other apps, like the videos, like just general kids videos or Roblox, Minecraft, things like that. He has to do half an hour of the educational stuff. So that may be reading a book. It may be going on to his Numbots account, his Class Dojo account. It may be just doing, he loves number blocks. He's like really good into number blocks. And he has to do at least half an hour of that a day before it unlocks the free apps kind of thing. But obviously, I think when you get to later on in primary school as well, like even though I can start off with these best intentions of not wanting him to do X, Y, and Z with technology and social media, I'm fully aware of how sort of social pressures can come into it. So I've seen this with my stepdaughter. So she is 10, she is in year 5. And since she's been in about year 3, 4, definitely, but certainly now, she is getting very influenced by other friends that do have TikTok, that do have social media accounts, even though she doesn't. For Christmas, she didn't want toys and things like that. She wanted Stanley Cup. She wanted the Laneige body sets. She wanted Nike and Adidas trainers, and she wanted White Fox t-shirts and tops and stuff like that. It was all very sort of TikTok influenced. And she hasn't got social media, but she's still getting influenced by those at school that do, which is concerning because you can try your best with your children. They still get these outside influences. And it doesn't seem to matter what we do. If you allow them screen time, you're seen in a bad light as a parent because you're giving them too much screen time, and you allow screen time and you let social media or you let the iPad babysit your children, which isn't the case. Versus if you don't let them have screen times, you're a bad parent because they don't know how to use screens and they don't know how to use these apps, and they're struggling at school because schools use them. So it's like you can't fucking win with it. It doesn't matter what you do. And I'll be honest, there have been times where I've thought with Jacob, he's been driving me absolutely crackers. And I've said to him, look, just calm down for 5 minutes, sit down. Do you want your iPad? And he'll sit down for 5-10 minutes and it'll just calm him down. So I'm guilty of probably using the iPad to babysit him. I'm not using the iPad to parent him. I still very actively parent him. And I do my best to monitor what it is that he's doing on that iPad. But raising kids is hard, and it's difficult to know what that balance is. And I constantly have that guilt spiral of whatever it is that I'm doing the worst option for him. Like I say, if I give him screen time, it's too much screen time. If I don't give him screen time, he's going to fail at school because he's not aware of how to use screens. I want to know what you guys do in terms of parenting with screens and social media. Do you allow it? Do you not allow it? Do you try and balance it like I do and fuck up constantly like I do? What's the balance, or where is the balance? Is there a balance at all? Do you guys have tech zones, for example? Is that a thing? I've read that people have tech zones. So like they'll only have, which I am on board with. So you can only watch TV in the living room. I don't really want him having a TV in his bedroom. My stepdaughter has a TV in her bedroom, and that's caused some issues with her getting up in the night, for example, and turning the TV on. We'll say to her she can't have her phone upstairs. It's got to stay downstairs. She's obviously not allowed it at school. So do you have like tech zones maybe, as opposed to limits on what they can watch? Or do you have limits in terms of what I do, where they have to do a certain amount of educational content before they're released to have their free play on it? I'm an 80s baby. I'm 90s kid, 80s baby. I was born in 88, and technology was very just coming out when I was a sort of a teenager. My first phone was a black one with a little aerial on the top, so that's how old it was. It had a green screen that had lines across the... I don't mean green screen that like we have now. It literally had a bright green screen and lines across the screen where the letters would go when you're writing. And my era of text messaging, we created the shortened abbreviations because you had to pay per word that you sent, and you had a limit of characters that you could send on a text. So I was brought up in a time where technology wasn't an issue. We would go out and play, and we would make believe with toys. And when I was 10, not like my stepdaughter, I was still playing with Barbies. I was still playing with toys because that was what we did when we were that age. But now times have changed, and it's, do we move with the times? Do we not move with the times? Do we try and reel it? Do we try and pull back against it? Are we doing a disservice if we pull back against it? I think sometimes I have to give myself a break a little bit because I do get hard on myself. And I feel like you're not a bad parent if your kid watches TV so that you can have a sit down. That's not allowing the TV to babysit or parent your child. That's taking advantage of something that we didn't have to be able to have some you time, which we're more entitled to do. And I think we're all trying our best out here as parents. And like I say, I'm very proud of the connection that I have with my son. He comes up to me when he's sad and he'll tell me if he's sad, he'll tell me if he's happy, he'll tell me if he's angry, and he'll talk to me about things, and he's 5. So I think something somewhere I'm doing right, but it would be nice to hear your guys' thoughts on tech. And yeah, if this ranty kind of episode with no point has made you feel seen, let me know, because I would love to hear from you and love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you allow screen time or not? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and follow for more.